everyone, Emily here. Can you actually bloody believe it? It has been 1 year. It was the 3rd of June that I uploaded my 2019 collecting tips. So this year, a lot has changed. There's still some things that I obviously still live by, but I've got some new tips for you that hopefully you'll be able to find heaps of goodies around the corner. So stay tuned to 2020's collecting tips. Now I'm just going to touch on a few things from last year's video that I still do to this day, and obviously one of which is the relationships formed with friends and other people in the community, being able to buy games off them at a great price. That's something that I actually have done in 2020. There's been some people on Instagram that I've become really good friends with that were selling games, one of which was Catherine on the PlayStation 3. I wanted to add that to the collection. It was something I didn't really want to buy off eBay and not know the condition, so my friend Cassie Dakota, she had a game, and I was able to grab that off her for 20 bucks posted. That was great. And obviously being able to trade with friends in my city where I live is also another great aspect. So we obviously send each other photos of things that we pick up that we might have doubles of. They do the same thing, and we're obviously able to trade. So when I buy games for like $1 or $2, I just set them aside most times, and I obviously have the ability to trade them with someone, and it makes my collection still much cheaper, and I'm obviously going to trade for something that I want and they obviously will want for their collection. So that's something that I really put high in the list still, even in 2020. Now, there's other items that I still do. If I'm going to certain areas, I leave a little bit earlier where I can, so I can obviously go and stop past op shops. And that's been really fruitful for me. So one of those areas that I went to is in South Brisbane, and just going a little bit earlier and going to the op shop, I was able to find those dollar sealed games this year. And that was an absolute, pure luck, but also another great thing. So that tip is something that I still live by here in 2020 as well. Now let's get into some tips, because obviously 2020 has been a completely different year. A lot of stores here in Australia have been closed for a long time. In some states they've reopened, and in some states they've closed back down again. So in Australia, it is relatively safe to still go out and go game hunting, but in some states it isn't. So they're obviously still in lockdown while I'm making this video. So just keep that in mind, that it might happen to you where you live in your country, but I'm hoping that all the things I touch on are going to help you. Now, collecting at thrift and op shops has been the biggest way that I've scored so many great deals. And as I said, it does come down to luck. You could go 10 or 20 times and not find one $1 item, or you could go one day and find like 20 $1 items, which you've seen from previous videos over the last couple of months that I've been able to do. That is just luck. But I also think it's patience. I do go to op shops. Not always is everything on film. I do say that, probably more so over on my Instagram, so definitely follow me there. I do stories every day. But I do go to op shops, every second or third day when I'm going to different areas, and obviously that's pretty lucky sometimes for me. But the majority of times that I go to op shops, I don't actually find anything. I might find one or two things. So my tip here is patience. And obviously give yourself some time to look through everything. You might find that there are hidden in the CD section old PC games, old versions of games in the jewel case. You might find PlayStation 1 games, and particularly in the DVD section, I guarantee it, you will always find a PS2 game. I almost guarantee it almost every time you are going to more than likely spot a PlayStation 2 game in the DVD section here in Australia. I've had that happen to me quite a lot of times, so guys, just have that patience. Definitely go through every single thing. It might feel like you're just like looking at crap.
My oh my, wait till old man Clemens realizes it's a bag of shit.
He's gonna shit when he realizes it's shit. Who got the lighter?
And you probably are. But I promise you, there is going to be a hidden gem somewhere in there, so be patient. The second tip I have for you guys this year is being able to utilize Facebook Marketplace. Over the last few years, I haven't really wanted to use Facebook. I won't lie. I don't like Facebook at all. So in the last sort of 9 to 10 months, I've definitely utilized looking on Facebook Marketplace a lot more. Have you got Facebook Marketplace where you are? I hope you do. It's very, very big here in Australia. We used to have a website called Gumtree, which was the local classified site. Now that used to have a lot of stuff on there. It doesn't anymore. It's kind of dead. But Facebook is definitely the place to be. Now, the reason why I mention this is because you can narrow down in the kilometer radius that you would like to travel. And you can obviously look for things, particularly narrowing down again. Search results aren't always fantastic, but it is going to give you a lot of recommended. And in this recommended, in the last 3 weeks around filming this video, I have picked up some absolute bargains, and I want to go through those now with you. So on Facebook, I was able to pick up all of these PC games. Some of them are in medium-sized boxes. There's obviously some here too. And these had been listed, I believe, for a few hours. I did end up sending a message to this person. Now, in the travel time to go over there, this is also something to consider. Are you paying tolls? How much fuel is going to cost you? And obviously, how much time. Do put a value on your time when you're going game hunting. Please do. If it's going to take you like a 4-hour round trip for something that's still going to cost you a lot of money and you've got tolls involved, I normally do not do it. I'll very rarely go and grab that stuff unless I'm buying an entire collection or a big lot of something, like those magazines as an example. And the kiosk in Bundaberg, we went to go for that. They're examples of things that I've obviously done quite a lot of travel for because it was valuable to me for the collection. But I always take those things into consideration too. So that is like a huge tip when it comes to looking at Marketplace, working out on classified sites, whichever one you prefer to use, where you're going and is it worth your time. Now this gentleman was selling these games for $5 a piece. It worked out, I think, at about $90. I said some of the games will be locked to an account. So it's really that I'll only be collecting the box as such, and there's also the risk that there's nothing in these boxes. So take that in consideration too when you're making people an offer. And so I offered him $50. It cost me I think $10 in tolls and probably $15 in fuel and a little bit of time. But all in all, for that cost, I ended up picking up all these PC games for $50. What also was in that box were 2 really good games on the PlayStation 2 as well. So we've got Destroy All Humans 2 and obviously Silent Hill: The Room. Now this particular game is in mint condition and it does go for quite a lot of money on eBay. It is something that I also don't own. So for this entire lot, I think it was worthwhile going over there to collect them for $50. So my tip is look at Facebook Marketplace, narrow down to a 100-kilometer radius, look through everything and see if it's worthwhile to your collection, if you think you put the value on the time, tolls, fuel, cost to get there, and ask the question if you can get a better deal. If you can get a better deal, I almost guarantee you that people are going to say yes each time. They want the stuff to go, and weekends are the biggest time that I find Facebook Marketplace has listings. Now let's talk about friends and family. Now with lockdowns everywhere and stuff like that, some people can't actually leave either the city that they live in or certain suburbs. So if I find something in a suburb that's very close to someone that I know, I also ask them if they might be able to pick it up for me, and my family have been really accommodating and very good at that. So over the years I have found things on classified sites, even eBay. I've found pickup stuff and family members have been like, yeah, it's 2 suburbs away, I'd happily pick it up. So also remember to ask your family if there's something in another city that you might be wanting to pick up. And here is another example. Now this PS2 happened to be closer to another family member, and I thought, why not ask if I would be able to get them to pick it up for me. It popped up in my feed and it ended up being only listed within about a 5 to 10 minute mark. So I asked if they were able to go and pick this up, and they did. And guess how much they picked this up on Facebook Marketplace for me? $10.
And you didn't think I'd make any money. I found $1 while I was waiting for the bus.
While you were out earning that dollar, you lost $40 by not going to work. The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! A 4-day weekend.
$10 for this. PS2 and also all the cables, no controllers. Absolutely crazy. They said that it worked. I didn't mind anyway because guess what come with it? A genuine memory card and these games. Now, I believe Jak 3 is missing, but all the other games are in there. Some of them are scratched, but of course, I'm going to be able to fix them up with my video that you'll be able to find very, very soon on my channel on how to fix up discs. It's going to obviously change also the way you guys collect because you won't overlook scratched discs anymore. You probably end up buying them really, really cheap and you'll be able to fix them up. Trust me, this video is worth it. But these games were all included too. So a PS2 Slim in silver, pretty scratched up. They say it's working though. And all of these games, some of them I don't have, particularly Simpsons Skateboarding. So all of these for $10. So if it's not close to you and it is closer to someone that you know that is in your family or a really good friend, just ask them if they can go and pick it up for you. $10 this cost me. Now my final tips for collecting in 2020 actually cover bringing the cost of your collection down. Now this could be in the way of trading your games with friends, or collecting cheap games like I do. It also covers a little bit of reselling. So this is how you can bring your collection down. I know a lot of people have become really, really popular on YouTube because they are showing cheap video game collection and obviously flipping tips and stuff like that. I haven't really ever touched on that sort of thing, but I'm hoping that I can give you guys a few tips that might obviously help you guys out. Now, people ask me why I buy doubles of Wii, Wii U, Xbox 360, PS3, PS4 games, or Xbox One if they are cheap. The reason is sometimes I set them aside and I wait for EB Games to have, when I'm a level 4 member here in Australia, I can get bonus credit. Now I know that they do this sometimes around the world at other game stores. You can take your games in at a certain period of time, whether it be a week or a month. They sometimes pop up at weird times of the year and obviously get better trade value. The reason why I do this is because sometimes if I buy a game in a bulk lot and I put games in a bulk lot and I put them aside and they might cost me anywhere from 20 cents to $2 and then I can trade them in for a better value, I bring the cost of my collector's editions and new consoles down. So what I mean is I might sit that trade credit there on my account, so when I bought the Last of Us PS4 collector's edition and those sorts of things, the controller and that, I brought the cost of those things down. That's why I'm able to obviously buy stuff new when it comes out on day one. I do that, and that is a huge tip. But I only take them in when I know that my trade value is going to be upped a little bit more. The other thing that I look for sometimes, and you'll see another channel, his name is Retro Rick. He's awesome. He's also on Instagram. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video for his channel. Now he talks about that he resells DVDs. I have done this over the years. From time to time, I do find valuable ones, and if it's a double, I definitely make sure I flip it. The reason why I do is it makes the reinvestment to my collection either free. My DVD collection, I promise you, is 100% free. It didn't cost me anything. My initial investment on that was around $30 to recollect it. I've sold DVDs here in Australia that are Australian ones that are sort of hard to find, out of print, and I've been able to obviously reinvest that into either the DVD collection and Blu-rays that I have now, or I reinvest it into my game collection. So I either buy other things from eBay, which I've been looking for, or I reinvest it into other games now. So that is another huge tip. So when you're going thrifting or op shopping, don't not look at DVDs. If you think something's a little bit obscure, check it out, see what the comps are saying, the completed listings, and maybe have a look and try your hand at it. Okay, eBay every month, they might do 30 to 40 free listings. Free. So you can just have a go at maybe listing something. The other tip that I have for collecting in 2020 is don't hang on to your doubles.
You guys, we gotta hurry. I just got back from Walmart. They're selling Nintendo 3DS systems for $149.99 on sale. Plus, every time you buy one, you get a $50 gift card. Brings the total price down to $110 after tax. Now listen, we can flip those sons of bitches for $230 a piece. Easy! They're all limited edition Zelda ones. Hurry! Hurry, come with me. We can be rich, and we also all get to keep one, and we can play Nintendo games.
At the moment, selling your video games off is probably going to save you a lot of money off other games that you want. Some games are selling absolutely insanely at the moment. I have considered selling some of my doubles or moving them on if I can't use them to trade with friends. So that's something else to remember at the moment. I definitely recommend doing that. Well everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this collecting tips for 2020. Now, a lot of the stuff that I touched on earlier in the video still apply. Everything from 2019's video, I obviously still live by, but the biggest thing to take away from me is that I've been using Marketplace and trying to find good deals. Just remember to obviously put value on your time and tolls and fuel if it's going to be worth adding it to your collection, because obviously sometimes it can be a long drive to go and get that stuff. Be sure to stay safe and follow all the precautions in stores if you can go thrifting and op shopping wherever you are. Don't forget to look in those DVD and CD sections, and most definitely to bring your cost of your collection down, don't be scared to resell some stuff. It is obviously going to help you at the moment. If everything's a bit tough or a bit tight, I definitely recommend doing it. Check out other channels that I've linked in the description below that have got some great thrifting and obviously reselling tips. Until next time guys, I'll talk to you later.